Hey, what's up, gang? Thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast, and of course, thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Use the promo code Swish Masters. That's right, Swish Masters, the name of the podcast, for 15% off today on all merch at ss96.net. Also, be sure to follow Straight Stoner as well as Xzequtive Productions on all socials. See you soon, and thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We love it. What up? Welcome into the Swish Masters Podcast. I am your co-host, Zay, the executive producer, and it is in my deepest sorrows that I announced that the Denver Nuggets, man, are the 2023 NBA champions. Yeah.
Nothing else to say? That's it?
I mean, there's not much to say, but I have to give them credit. This was a very well put together team, very efficient squad with a very much talented group of players, and they simply brought the competitiveness and the talent and just the energy, and they were able to capitalize that and got their first championship. So I have to give them credit. Shout out to Mike Malone, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Bruce Brown, Michael Porter Jr. had a good game tonight. Aaron Gordon, KCP, solid guys, man. Very, very solid playoffs year for them, and congrats to them.
All right, y'all. My co-host is a little, if you ain't know already, he's a Heat fan. So, the energy is a little bit down. That's why. All right, Swish Masters. This is your co-host, QtheGuru. I actually predicted Nuggets in 5. Sorry, I have my phone up because I'm trying to listen to the award ceremony. Trying to see who they'll announce. I'm pretty sure it'll be Nikola Jokic who wins this award.
Definitely.
There we go. They're about to give it out. Yeah. All right. It's basically confirmed now. Yeah. Nikola Jokic is now the winner. He's a two-time MVP and also a Finals MVP. Shout out to Nikola Jokic. We had an argument about if he was the best player earlier during this series. I think it's about time I had that conversation again. But just let me shout out the Denver Nuggets, man. I predicted Nuggets in 5. We really do need to break down this game though, because this game was a grind. It was a slugfest. Both teams were not shooting well at all, and I was kind of disappointed in the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat in the first half was a different team than the Miami Heat we saw in the second half. And that was mainly the difference. Jimmy Butler tried to pull off some magic in the fourth quarter. And he also made a really bad mistake in the fourth quarter. We'll talk about that too and a lot more. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. My immediate reaction to this is that I'm not really surprised, but the Heat had a chance again. They had a chance again tonight. First of all, with the calls, I know a lot of people on social media saying the NBA script is trying to be in the favor of the Heat, and some people claiming for cheating, but it just you gotta see how the game is played. These refs let it be physical. I was worried about the Nuggets mindset a little bit in the first half. I thought they were doing a little bit too much complaining. While the Heat showed more poise, and the Heat were playing with more intensity, and it showed up. It was working out for them, and they kind of lost that in the second half. I mean, totally different Heat team. But they were running. They stopped trying to get inside. They started selling a lot more for the outside shot, and you let Denver hang around. Even when Jokic was in a little bit of foul trouble in the first half, it wasn't as much as Game 4, but still. The Nuggets went without Jokic for a considerable amount of time. Considerable. Anyway. And I was surprised we didn't see Tyler Hero. I would love to get your reaction about that. I was figuring like, okay, Spoelstra may play Hero, find out a couple minutes in the second, see how Tyler feels. And then maybe if he's playing well, go ahead and give him more minutes in the second half. But we didn't see that. I think it was also a mistake when the starters aren't playing well in the second half to start off, you sub in Kyle Lowry sooner. Because Kyle Lowry was definitely a dude tonight, along with Bam Adebayo in the first half. But I was kind of disappointed with the adjustments from Spoelstra, man. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm surprised when you see Tyler Hero tonight.
Honestly, I didn't expect to see Tyler. I know that he was listed as questionable. He was on the bench dressed, but didn't really expect him to play. I keep up with the Heat socials, and from what I was seeing in his warm up or his just routine, he didn't look the same. So I don't even if he were to come back, I don't really think he would be effective. And overall, it got to give the Nuggets credit for sticking to it and really not, falling away in the second half. Came back out and they were competitive and kept their foot on the gas, didn't give up. And honestly, it goes back to what I said the previous game about the Heat. The first quarter, Bam's coming out, making great plays, gets a steal, initiating the offense. Everybody is active hands on defense. We're aggressive physically on defense, making, the right play, playing Heat basketball for the most part. And then as the game progresses, that intensity dips, that energy dips. You see less physical defense. You see less offense, less productive offense. And that was the opposite direction of what we needed. The Heat needed to build on the first quarter and be better, but instead they started off as their high point being the first quarter and just dipped. Overall, as far as adjustments, I feel like the starters didn't play well to start the second half. We probably could have shook it up a little bit, especially with this being a closeout game. I always trust Spo to make the right choice, and I don't disagree with what he did, but I mean, looking at it in retrospect, it would have been helpful to probably just switch up the rotation, or at least if you start out with the starters in the second half, you bring Laurie in, you bring Martin in, you just kind of like get new energy in to see and test things out, keeping the Nuggets on their toes basically to see how they adjust to you. So I agree with that. I guess they could have been done, but overall, man, it was competitive for a minute, but I do not understand the lack of closure in this entire series. It's like we get to these key moments in the game, and forget how to make the right play. And tonight, I'm not gonna blame anybody in particular, because as a team, we have to play team defense as a team, because the Heat are a small ball lineup with Bam 6'10" on a good day, and the rest of our guys like Jimmy 6'7", Vincent 6'2", 6'3", whatever. Max Strus like 6'5". Like, we don't have a lineup like Denver with Jokic 7 foot, Aaron Gordon 6'10", Michael Porter 6'10", KCP 6'5", 6'6", Murray 6'4" at the point guard. So our zone just kind of fell apart. We weren't physically aggressive in the second half, and we just didn't make the right decisions. And obviously, I know Jimmy did not really play up to par. He made his he finally like checked into the game in like the last few minutes of the game, and then yeah, we all saw the game. But if you didn't see the game, Jimmy made some questionable decisions down the line, and didn't turn out well for the Heat.
Yeah, the first one was a turnover, right? Yeah, the turnover. I don't blame that fully on Jimmy. Nobody was really coming to the ball.
Yeah,
like he was in a bad situation. I was surprised. It was like nobody wanted it. I'm like, y'all, this is like a couple seconds left here. Where's the urgency right here? And no one came to the ball, and they just like a days ago right there. And then the shot selection, really bad choice. Really bad choice. They could have gotten something. Van Gundy explained in the pod and during the broadcast. And they said they have to go for a 3 right there. You know they'll stay on the shooters. So it's a prime time to go into the paint, especially all the shooters on the floor. I would have preferred to see Bam or Jimmy trying to go inside. And Jimmy's been creating all night. Like willingly pass things up the whole night. Then to this moment and do that, I'm like, yeah, that was bad. And yeah, that was basically it. And he decided not to foul, and that was basically the game. The zone was effective for a little bit. It stopped working when Jokic got back into it, and Jokic,
once he was back in the
so
game.
high. Exactly, that's when it all changed up. That his IQ was so amazing, and he can pick it apart. And he's so tall, he can literally see over everyone and see where the pass needs to go. If not, he was aggressive enough. He let the game come to him, and he was effective. When the zone was there, when the shot was there, he took his chance. And I can't really blame Bam. Like, Bam, there's nothing you can do. So trying to bring a double somewhere where Jokic doesn't see it or doesn't expect it. But yeah, it's just the team. It's just matchups.
Yeah,
It's just matchups, man. Like, it showed up again tonight. The rebound battle. Nuggets had 57. He had 44.
Yeah.
That's really where it showed up at. Otherwise, the Heat won almost everything else. We already know how the calls went. Honestly, it's just Denver missed free throws. That was surprising. And missing wide open shots. Like, that was surprising. That's what I mean where the Heat had chances. That's what I mean. Like, they're missing shots they normally make and missing free throws. That's really not like the Nuggets. I would kind of blame that to, like, it's a closeout game. All your fans are there. There's a lot of pressure to try to close out. So I would blame it on that and nothing else, really. But they persevered. They got through it. And ultimately, it just comes down to the offense. The Heat, 26% from 3. And 3-point shots weren't going in at all for either team, but that's not going to get done. And overall field goal percentage, 34%. And a lot of that came from the second half, too. Like, a lot of questionable shot choices. Like, contested shots. contested layups, and selling a lot. So, yeah, man, it's tough.
All I know is pain. Pain. All I know is pain. Yeah, man. Shoot, this is crazy. I think, like you said, it was a close game because there were the lack of shots and just mistakes that the Nuggets actually made for us. They kind of helped us in the Heat in that way.
They did. And the turnovers. That was also uncharacteristic of the.
But we couldn't capitalize, and we couldn't stop Jokic. And then Murray started to make plays, even though we limited his scoring throughout most of the game. Still,
and he had 6 turnovers himself. That's not gonna get it done. But yeah, I mean, it was enough for tonight.
He got it done tonight.
Yeah, he got enough tonight. But shout out to Michael Porter, man. Yeah, like you shouted him out a little bit earlier. Shout him out here. You saw him at the end of the game 4, not really getting much minutes, and in the second half he didn't. And coming out tonight, staying engaged on the offense and defensive end, cutting to the basket, driving, not selling. That was a good game from Michael Porter. Great contributions from him. So, another underrated player here. I would also like to shout out maybe Chris Brown too. Chris Brown. Shout him out too. He had some key rebounds and I liked his tenacity out there. And he definitely earned those minutes, and he was also key. He played 24 minutes tonight. Those are good 24 minutes. It's a team effort, and Jokic led the way, man.
That's what a leader does, man. I gotta give them credit. They outplayed us, out-rebounded, and down the stretch, he kind of beat themselves. But also throughout the game, the consistency has to be there for your energy, your effort, and your intensity. And that dipped, and that caused this slippage. And then it's just happened to not be making shots, which is why they were able to stay within range the entire time. So this is not very much not the best Heat basketball, but it is what it is, man. What do they say? Cancun on 3. That's crazy. But well, it'll be Puerto Rico for me, but whatever.
And again, Jokic was amazing this series. 30 points, 14 rebounds in the final series. I want to officially say it. I know we talked about it a little bit before, but Jokic is the best player in the NBA. The best player.
I would agree at this point.
Although I would have liked to see Jokic, and well, he played against Anthony Davis, so I take that back. Anthony Davis is a great defender. He's a top 75 player all time. So, and Jokic went through him. So I was about to say I would like to see someone like Embiid go against Jokic or someone like that, but technically Jokic went up against Anthony Davis, and that proves it. That's more than enough for me. So,
Davis, LeBron James, went up against greats for sure.
Yep, and swept them. So, yeah. Well, at least y'all didn't get swept. I mean,
the least we could do, I guess. We went for the least for sure.
Yeah, it's just the size was too much, man.
Yeah,
it was just the size was too much and not enough It's not enough offense, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a ride, definitely an emotional roller coaster tonight for all my fellow Heat fans. I know how it goes, and
It was looking good for a second, and then I was getting nervous. I was getting nervous myself about my pick. So
nah, I think it's the main thing is that it's just disappointing because I know what they're capable of. And it's like there were stretches in this series that they reverted from what I know they are capable of doing throughout the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously, I don't want people to go out and blame Jimmy for not scoring 30 and 40 a night, because that's not exactly what it put them to this point in the season, in the series, and in the playoffs in general. Of course, he had some games where he erupted, he took over, but after the first round and after his injury in New York, he still found ways to make the other guys better. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just wanting to get this out of the way, because I feel like people will be like, Jimmy didn't do anything. Jimmy didn't do this. Jimmy didn't do that. Jimmy made some mistakes, but overall, the team made a lot of mistakes on defense with not being consistent. And at the end, we, fell short. He fell short, and they fell short to a very good team.
I will say this: even if the Heat did win, they would have blamed it on like some calls, man.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I was trying to hear the explanation again about the call where Jimmy was fouled on the 3. Like, I thought they said something to the face. I know the commentators were focused on the leg or whatever. Yeah, but I feel like the ref said something about the face. And I kept trying to see it, but I couldn't see it clearly. But I don't know. But it was definitely, if it was based on the knee or whatever, the kick, no. But if it was like something about the face area, I would need to see it again. But I know a lot of people would have been upset about that, and they would have blamed refs and stuff like that. So I feel like the NBA should definitely be glad the Nuggets pulled it out, because you would have been hearing a whole lot of stuff on Twitter and social media about NBA being fake and all this stuff.
We still will. Yeah.
For sure. I'm just pointing out the facts, man. Like, people would have been doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even to that point in the game, I feel like when I was looking at the play, I just thought that I wasn't really focused on the kick, because I'm looking at how he caught the ball. If you watch the play again, Jimmy's right-handed. He's flaring right. He's got momentum going to his right. He's fading going to his right. He already kind of has a natural kick to his shot when he's going right fading. So then once he's going up against Gordon and he's like right here in his face, he's coming down, he doesn't really have a clear landing spot. So I feel like that's why they were like, all right, if you're like right here, basically still like touching his chest or, within his like landing space, it would have been a foul anyway. But I get why people were like saying that he kicked out, but it's kind of like a natural shooting motion going right, because you're going to your shooting hand on the right side and you're fading, turning towards the basket. So it's just kind of like and he's running hard, jumping hard. So he's gonna have like this slight turn, and if he's turning his body anymore, he would have kicked higher. But is what it is. It doesn't really matter. He, But yeah, man, you got to get a Nuggets credit, bro. Like Jokic
Yeah,
definitely is the best player in the league. Is
for sure.
I don't know, well, I don't know how you stop him. And the dude's a phenomenal IQ basketball player. He's just smart. He doesn't overwhelm you with athleticism. He knows his skill set. He knows his teammates. He makes everyone on the floor better, and you just can't stop him. He makes every shot.
Yeah,
Like I'm honestly, I was surprised at some shots he missed because I'm like, he just has great touch and he can shoot. Like I got to give him credit for that. Yeah, obviously.
yeah, yep.
I was wishing for him to miss a lot of shots, but that didn't happen. So,
All right.
yeah, man.
Jokic, you remember he was picked last in this past All-Star draft, remember? And
Yeah.
now he's on top. He's a 5-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, 2-time MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, NBA champion, Finals MVP, first player in history with 2,000, 1,000, 1,000 in the season, first player in history with a 30-20-10 game in the NBA Finals, top 5 ever for triple doubles and most triple doubles by a center ever. Nikola Jokic definitely earned the title, man. He earned the title of best player in the world, and nobody can really deny that, considering how Giannis went out this past season. Embiid, how he went out. So, because previously I believe it was Giannis, and now they're on even terms as far as like championships and MVPs go. So, yeah. At this point, I know Melo retired, but it looks like Jokic is gonna keep that number, man, and his number will probably in the Raptors, man. At this point, first NBA championship in Denver Nuggets history. That crowd was so electric, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Well deserved for the Nuggets fans out there. Long time coming.
Yeah.
Well deserved. And the future looks bright. I can only think that they should get better after this. The monkeys off the back, of that metaphor, with all these young players, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. I believe these players can only get better. You get this experience in the NBA Finals like this, you earn that pedigree, so to say. And everyone's gonna be going after Nuggets now. They're well seen. I would love to see how they'll look, trying to defend the title. I have full faith that they have a really high chance to defend their title. Again, Jokic, man, the lowest draft pick ever to win the Finals MVP. The 41st pick in the draft to Finals MVP, man. Best player in the world, man. Just can't brag too much about that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to the Joker. Yeah, man, he's a phenomenal talent, and shout out to the fans of Denver. I know that arena was jumping for sure. I've been in there, and it's a great environment, and I guess it's good for them that they actually got it on their home floor. So shout out to the Nuggets, man. Well deserved, and like you said, they don't get that recognition because they're not like a superstar destination, quote unquote. And I knew this team was good for this entire season. Honestly, they've always been right there. They just have been hit with injuries over the past few seasons. And now you got your MVP in Jokic, Jamal Murray, superstar, and great supporting cast around them with leadership and veteran experience. So, and well coached. Like, very, very solid team. Like I said, I was talking to another guy the other day about just the series in general. Like, if there's a team that I thought would be worthy of it, it's the Nuggets, outside of my Heat, obviously. But they're definitely, to me, one of the better teams in basketball that doesn't get that recognition. So hopefully now ESPN won't be talking about LeBron's offseason or something and talk about this Nuggets championship, because they do deserve that at least.
Right. Or I hope the national media doesn't go ahead and talk about the future chances or whatever. Like, take some time to really celebrate the Nuggets after all this time. Talk about Jokic. Talk about these players and where you think they'll go. Like, I'm predicting Jamal Murray should be an all-star next season. And yeah, this should be great because Jokic is, not only that, he's one of the most durable superstars as well. Like, he is always going to be available and always is going to play. So shout out to Jokic for that too. I think that's underrated about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they'll do in the offseason, how they'll get even better.
Yeah.
Man. I do think we need to owe it to the Heat to talk about, we talk about the teams that lose in the finals and what they can do in the offseason to get better. So we ain't had that conversation yet about the Heat. So about to get into that now real quick. There's been a lot of talk with Damian Lillard. There's been a lot of talk. We'll all know how true this is, but if you guys could get Dame, definitely definitely help a lot. But if you could, you have to take something. You have to give up some stuff. We talked about that in the previous podcast too. So I know I suggested maybe they'll give up Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, or a combination of that plus some picks for Damian Lillard. So that would leave Lillard with a core of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. That should be enough in the East to get you to compete, at least to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. It also depends on how you build the roster out around those players. I would say that he need to go out and try to get another big body, especially considering where you are in the East with Joel Embiid and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
They're I know you guys beat Giannis this past year, but it's still a problem. So it's still a glaring weakness for the Heat. So if you get a big body, where I think Bam could be good as a power forward, like a good power forward, someone to pair with Bam that can space the floor, obviously, so they don't have to clog up the paint. So looking to getting a piece like that. It doesn't have to be super expensive either. Like, I always say this, I will always try to target Miles Turner. Like, he's like the ideal center to me. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a center that can space the floor for you, grab rebounds, show some toughness, and I feel like he would like to be in the winning situation like Miami. I don't know about his attitude, personality. I'm sure the Heat will do their homework on that to see if he's a good fit. But if he is, I say go ahead and get Miles Turner. Other than that, I don't know. I don't even know if y'all got any picks this year or not. I have to look and see. But
I do too.
Yeah, I can look. I'll look it real quick. But yeah, I don't know. You're a Heat fan, so what do you think about those things? Is there anything else you would add to like how the Heat can get better next year?
Yeah, for sure. I think that what we need is really someone else to pair with Bam. That's kind of a hard ask because of Bam's role on the team, being the center playmaker. You need another center, I think.
By the way, sorry, y'all got no picks.
Yeah, well, and it's all good. Heat will figure it out. They got smart people there. Um, but yeah, I would say I was thinking about the big man situation for a minute. We almost need like a 3-and-D center or a 3-and-D forward/center. Someone who can specialize in guarding bigs and also being an offensive threat by spreading the floor.
I apologize, man. I was wrong. Yeah, I got number 18 pick. Because y'all in the play-in.
Okay.
That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah. There have been some good picks in that 18 to 20 range for sure.
Yeah. So it's about how you use that pick and as well. So yeah, my fault.
No problem.
That was an old website I looked at or something. All right. But yeah. Sorry, you can continue, man. You were saying about the parents and by Bam.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Something like a 3-and-D forward/center that we can still spread the floor, but gives us size, gives us some depth to be able to throw at guys like Jokic. Bam is great, but he's still undersized for a center, and obviously wasn't enough to stop Jokic. And I'm not expecting anybody to, hold somebody to 0 points for a game because it's the NBA, but definitely is an area that can be improved upon, and just adding scoring. And yeah, Damian Lillard is definitely one of my favorite point guards in the league. I don't know how that's gonna go. There are, all these scenarios and rumors and clips of him talking about what do you think about this place? Oh yeah, I like this place. That's my homie, whatever. I'm like, all right, yeah. But overall, we don't know what's gonna happen with Dame. This has been going on for years, and I'm not gonna bank on, these rumors. But if he's, I'm like, yeah, we'll take Dame for sure. But yeah, I think they'll look to at least hear out the options there are as far as trades and stuff, and we just need another go-getter as far as buckets. I'm not even talking about the thing about it is that if you look at the Heat, the organization, look at how they operate, it's not really about, we need to go out and get LeBron or a big name. That's not even what it's about. It's about the guys that fit. And in this particular situation, what we need is a scorer. I think we need someone who can take some pressure off of Jimmy so he can be the roaming defensive player and get out on the break, make plays. And then we have somebody else that we can kind of lean on to be able to make shots in general, that takes the pressure off Jimmy and Bam, and that can really open up a lot more shots for the other guys. And really, that doesn't have to be, anyone like big name. I think of guys like Buddy Hield, shooter who can also fit really easily. He's going to be a very much knockdown shooter. Also can handle the ball well enough to make plays. Honestly, if I look at a fringe all-star type player, and I'm not saying we'll get this type of guy, but someone who what Jalen Brunson does for the Knicks. He can score in volumes, but also he can manage the other guys. And that way, if he doesn't have it going, Jimmy then is right there too. I don't know who that is right now. I don't know. I have to look at active free agents. I know there are a few, being Chris Paul and Fred VanVleet and stuff like that, but I'll have to look at the actual upcoming thing for the summer. But yeah, just generally scoring and size, man. That's really the key.